We're back for another episode. I hit the button. We're recording.
Alrighty.
Hello.
Hello,
Yo.
everyone.
Yo.
Welcome back.
John.
What's up?
John.
Macawi.
John.
Macaw.
Do you know why I'm so excited?
Why are you excited?
I am so excited. I'm so giddy. Is that a word?
Giddy up, I think, is
Giddy
a word. So giddy up about what? You and your mouth sounds.
Remember how for the past 7 episodes we have been coming up with excuses on why we don't have a downloadable show?
Yeah, I think we
people
have.
can download onto their phones and tablets and computers.
I do remember something similar to that.
Well, John,
What's the good news, Macawi?
let me start off by taking a little sip.
He's sipping on a 40 right now.
No, that's not true. It is a Red Bull Kiwi Apple. You can tell I'm not making it up because I told you a very specific and strange flavor that John picked up and didn't realize how gross it is.
It's delicious. I don't know what you're talking about.
Tastes like battery acid that's flavored like a Jolly Rancher.
It's my niche. My niche as far as energy drinks go.
Well, John,
Well,
let me tell you,
all right, let's hear it.
those excuses built up, all right?
For a while.
And quite honestly, those 7 episodes that we said we're working on it, I was only working on it for one of those 7 episodes. And I couldn't figure it out after like 15 minutes and I gave up.
Right.
That was the first episode.
Yes.
Afterwards, I just didn't do it. Turns out creating an RSS feed isn't as hard as I thought it would be.
Oh, really?
It took a few more minutes after 15 to work on it and figure it out.
Yeah.
We have an RSS feed, ladies and gentlemen, and
What does that mean, Macawi?
what RSS feed itself means.
I just meant
doesn't
like, what does
matter.
that mean for them? I don't.
Oh, what does that mean to? Oh,
Yeah, what does that mean to them?
Linguistics is difficult. What that means to you, folks? Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. Hey, you! Look to your right. I'm talking to you. All right, now that you're back on track, what that means
We need you
to
to focus.
is we're now on iTunes and Google Play and Spreaker for all you Android losers.
Wow, we have Google Play. Thank you very much.
Android losers.
Says the iPhone loser whose phone broke last week.
iPhone rules. iPhone. Oh shoot, dude! I didn't. So we have new equipment, and our equipment does this really cool thing, and I totally forgot to utilize it when I made that announcement. So let me back up. Rewinding. Yep. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, our podcast is now downloadable, and you don't have to waste your data, your battery. You can just hit download and play us like you would play music in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on iTunes, we are on Google Play Music, and we are on Spreaker. Yeah.
This feels slightly corny.
Oh, embrace it, Shirk. Embrace it. Ooh, baby. We got new equipment, we're on new platforms, and I'm gonna
Shimmy.
all up.
He's gonna shimmy.
Oh, shimmy. Can you feel the acoustics shifts? I'm dancing.
Take it from me, folks. He's excited as I've ever seen him.
Oh, I'm so excited because although this podcast still has less than 10 listeners, what are you doing, John?
I'm trying to go to the list. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad.
Don't know how your thing works.
Giggity. Alrighty. So
Weird giggity placement, but we'll move past it.
he's talking about my phone. Don't get weird.
So for all of you that don't want the nonsensical soundboard noises, the message is we're more reachable than ever. That just means that more people across the planet Earth can hear us.
Yeah.
And appreciate us as much as we appreciate each other. And you 10 loyal followers. Probably 2 of those being us because we listen to ourselves.
Yeah, because we're
our own damn selves.
self-indulgent.
A little bit.
John.
I think, is that what that means? We indulge on ourselves?
Or maybe it's just we're narcissistic. Maybe
That's
the word.
I think that's the better word. We're big old narcissists.
I don't talk very good. John.
Yes.
So if somebody was trying to find our podcast, say in iTunes, or sorry, you're the Android loser.
I am the Android winner.
In Google Play or Spreaker. Spreaker is a really cool app that you can download. It's free on iPhone and Android, or iOS and Android. Sorry.
Yeah.
So iPads as well. And
He doesn't know the
it's
difference.
it's spelled SP, P as in Peter, Reaker, Spreaker.
Like speaker with an R.
Speaker with an R.
I'm just kidding. Speaker with...
Spreaker. Yeah, it's speaker with an R.
Okay, I was thinking like
Yeah,
Spreaker with a
idiot.
P.
Speaker with a P. It's seeker with a P and an R.
Yeah. So if you get the gist,
And an A.
Spreaker.
Minus an E.
Check it out. There's also a bunch of other good ones. Like, what else do you listen to there that made you aware of our ability to be on that app?
Well, there's this, my personal favorite podcast of all of the podcasts.
Really?
Dynamic Banter. Is with these two funny boys from Los Angeles. One of them is a comedian. The other one is a YouTube comedian.
What is the
other one, well,
what is the difference between a comedian and a YouTube comedian?
sorry, let me rephrase that. Not a YouTube. One of them is a stand-up comedian. And he's also a YouTube personality, but he's a stand-up comedian. The other one does like sketches and funny stuff on YouTube and on other platforms, but he doesn't do stand-up. That's what I meant. Sorry. Okay. Scratch that.
Like Bob, hold on. What is his? He does a Bob Ross.
Dave and Ross.
Dave and Ross. It's a Bob Ross parody by Steve Zaragoza.
Oh, he's so funny.
And it's so freaking funny.
Steve Zaragoza is one of my favorite people, and I don't even know him. He's just like this bright light in this shitty world.
As we are, hopefully, in your world.
Oh, yeah. I sure hope so.
But, so, basically, now all those complaints we got on our first episode of, oh, I have to have my phone open on YouTube and waste all my battery. Those are gone, people. We need you to listen. Mm-hmm. Listen good. Because we are there for you.
Yeah.
And we listened and we made changes. We changed ourselves for you. You should feel honored.
Yeah. You know what it was, dude? When I realized how easy it is to make an RSS feed to make this available everywhere, it was actually, I was listening to Dynamic Banter.
Right.
And they're a part of this podcast network called Headgum that's ran by Jake and Amir.
That's really the run. That's theirs?
Yeah, it's Jake and Amir's, yeah.
I thought they were just a part of it.
No. It's actually their
that's so
network.
cool.
Yeah. To those who don't know, Jake and Amir,
They're a comedy troupe that worked for College Humor.
Yeah.
I've been listening to them since high school. I even had a shirt that had Amir's catchphrase from the Jake and Amir show.
Oh, shoot.
It says, "Oh sheesh y'all, 'twas a dream." Or in Hebrew, "Oh sheesh y'all, zehalom." It's the one bit of Hebrew I know.
That's pretty funny.
And so, yeah. They're hilarious, and they have a podcast too, which I listen to on Google Play, which we are now on.
Yeah.
Theirs is, however, called If I Were You, which they just take a bunch of emails and instant messages and whatever, and they get all these scenarios from people that are like, "Hey, I'm in a crappy corner of my life, and I need some help." Where they normally like either you're a douche, your heart's in a good place, but you're doing a douchey thing, or you're a pretty girl, you can get away with anything. That's a synopsis, really, but they're probably a little more in depth, but worth the listen.
Yeah,
much as we are.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining stuff. But yeah, so they run this podcast network called Headgum, and Steve Zaragoza and Mike Falzone, the two guys that run Dynamic Banter, my favorite podcast, are on that network. And I listened to them first through iTunes because I use iOS, like a champ.
Wiener. I think he meant wiener.
Champ wiener. And but what happened was the other day I didn't want to use my phone, so I went on Headgum's website and I played it off there. And then I was like, oh snap, this is playing it through another company called Spreaker. That's when I learned about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this tonight. Next thing you know, we got our podcast everywhere.
And it's so amazing. I've already done it for he put the last episode on, but I've already downloaded it on the Spreaker app.
Hell yeah.
And fortunately, I have an Android, so I can access it through iTunes. But for all you, we'll call you winners, so you stick around and actually listen. Wow, that was gross. We have it for you, and I'm so excited because that also means we get more feedback. So as opposed to making your very obvious and like YouTube and Facebook messages and comments, you can now rate us on iTunes.
Hell yeah.
Leave us some feedback in case you want to reach out to us and get our opinion on other such things.
Yeah.
Or, just tell us if we're doing a good job or not. We'd love the feedback, constructive criticism, whatever you are willing to put in the time to give us.
Hell yeah. So I'm going to first explain a little. I mean, all 7 of you probably won't need me to say this, but in case you do, let me explain to you how to get to it. I'm going to speak on behalf of iTunes because That's what I use. On iOS, if you go to the podcast app, stop it, Shirk.
Oh,
stop
sorry.
it.
I thought that comment deserved a couple raspberries.
All praise Apple. All praise Apple.
He drank the Kool-Aid, people.
Oh, please. I drank the Kool-Aid. I willingly submitted myself to the monster that is corporate America.
As we both work for corporate America.
Yes. Let's be real. iOS or Android, we all have to realize all these companies are playing us like puppets.
And giving all our information to the government for them to use in their fight against terrorism. In air quotes. I'm just kidding. We're going to get political, people. The government is trying to steal our thoughts, and we are just handing them over like they're nothing.
Illuminati.
Sorry, I interrupted your iTunes explanation. Macaulay apparently thinks he's the black guy from Police Academy that can do all the mouth sounds. I forget his name.
No, I thought it was the Avatar. You remember how in Avatar, The Last Airbender, whenever Aang would go into Avatar mode, and there was like that meditative music happening behind him? It was like...
Yeah.
I'm the Avatar.
Except the only thing he bends is...
Say it.
I was going to say light, but that doesn't really make any sense.
If you can't tell by now, I'm really sick. Actually, I'm getting over the sickness. I'm not sick anymore, but I feel like the part where you get over the sickness is the most painful part. Physically painful. Because, like, nothing's contagious, but everything hurts.
And I, knock on glass, because I don't have a wooden desk, have the health of a lion. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I never get sick, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, I get a tickle in my throat every now and again. I've had to get my tonsils removed, but other than that, healthy as an ox.
Nice.
I think that's what it is.
Ox or lion?
Oxen are pretty healthy.
Make up your mind, sure.
I prefer lion.
Okay.
Even though...
What are you, appropriating African animals now, you asshole?
Are oxen African?
No, lions.
Oh, I know, but I was just... Okay.
It's a joke. It's
I
it's
get
a
it,
joke on your
man.
whiteness.
Hey, I have half Hispanico in me.
Hispanico. Are you healthy like an ox? That's good, man.
Yeah.
I used to be like that.
Yeah.
And then I got weak.
Yep.
Yeah, I took a Colorado School of Mines to the knee, and it made me weak.
But some of us are surviving it somehow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just kidding. It's just because my body's a temple. Temple I regularly fill with junk food. And
it's a temple nonetheless. Oh, man. iTunes. That's
sorry. Huge sidetrack there. Sorry, people.
Can I say I appreciate our banter? I'm not trying to make a reference to my favorite podcast, but I'm just using the word banter as banter.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? I appreciate our banter. We get sidetracked so easily, and I don't know why people hate on that so much. I'm like, that makes conversations fun.
Right? I just hope it doesn't make it like... the podcast being someone just like overhearing a conversation, because we are including you. You're just unable to respond because
you guys suck.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We love you.
That's the duct tape you forcibly put over their mouths.
Just kidding. Oh man, that was a bad joke.
Right. Okay. iTunes.
Okay. So
lay it on us before we do something else.
If you guys have an iOS device, you'll notice that there's a podcast app made by Apple. I don't know what they call it, but the name of it on the home screen is just podcast. I think it's just good job.
Sorry, I was trying to unlock it so I could figure out what the actual app was called, so we didn't have to. I mean, we have access to the phone.
It's literally just called Podcasts, but I think it's just called iTunes Podcast officially. Anyway, it's a little purple app with a white microphone and circles behind it, concentric circles behind it. You'll notice it. Just go on that and search We're Not Cool Podcast. Hey, and guess what? We'll pop up. And our logo is, it's a black logo with white writing. And
to celebrate the diversity that does make up this podcast.
Hell yeah. And just go there, hit subscribe. Don't be foolish. All right, don't be so skimpy with your subscribes. And leave us a comment and a rate. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Like maybe a 5-star. I don't know. Now, John.
Only if we're doing a good job and we deserve it.
No. In general. Just I have a self-confidence issue. Just leave me a 5-star review.
Okay, for Macaui's sake, you can leave a 5-star, but give us, your actual opinion in the comments.
I'm just kidding. Do what you want. I'm not your papa. Shirk.
What's up?
Jonathan. Johnny Shirko. Johnny Darko.
See, my favorite was always, what was it? In high school, I had 2 Spanish teachers.
Yeah.
They'd always just, like, if they saw me walking down the hall, they'd just shout out, Shirk, John Shirk! And I was like,
What?
the last name's so nice, you have to say it twice, apparently.
Shirk, John Shirk.
So now that's all my online handles, except I
Shark
replace
John
Shirk
Shirk.
with Shark.
Shark, John Shirk.
So it's pretty dope.
That's
Anyway,
pretty
what were you referring to me as for to?
English. Nailed it. Now, say they are an Android user. How would they be able to access it again? Just to clarify one last time. And specifically, what would they search in those search bar?
So, if you're an Android user, and since Google owns and operates Android, your phone will automatically have these 2 apps, and those are Google Play Music and the Play Store.
Oh, shush, yeah.
So, to listen to us on Google Play Music, if that's what you regularly use, you go to the app. There's a little magnifying glass on the top to search, because that's the icon they've decided upon, like for the save for the floppy disk that we're all very aware of. Are we millennials? Yeah, we're millennials.
I think we're millennials are 15 to 30 something.
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah.
So you're gonna search in that we're not cool podcast, and in the podcast section, you should find, like Macaui said, a very square black box with some white writing that says "We're not cool" by John and Macaui.
Yeah,
and then
with John and Macaui. You know how selfless I am?
How selfless?
I made that logo and I put your name first. Wow. And not one thank you, you asshole.
I'm sorry. I just assumed you were going alphabetical.
Nope.
And I guess I was wrong. My apologies.
I think higher of myself than anybody else. But I'm selfless.
Fair enough. And if that's a little iffy for you, if you don't trust the Google, machine, then you're going to go to the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
Because you still have to use Google.
Oh, so the stuff that's on the Play Music can also be found on Play Store?
No, I'm getting them to Spreaker at this point.
Oh, look at you thinking ahead.
So, yeah, you're going to go to the Google Play Store. Again, you're going to hit that cute little magnifying glass. I almost said microphone, but it's a magnifying glass. And you're going to just type Spreaker. Spreaker.
Hell yeah.
Macaui told you how to spell it. But if you want to hear it again, Spreaker.
Speaker with an R.
Spreaker.
SP as in Peter.
And he likes the word Peter, apparently.
Yeah.
And then in there, once that's downloaded, probably check your Wi-Fi to make sure that's turned on and you're not using up your parents' data. We know you. And then you're just gonna search in their little search bar, which I also assume is a magnifying glass, because that's just pretty universal at this point.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna put in a We're Not Cool podcast, and you will find Macaui and I ready to go right in your ear holes.
Hell yeah. And may I say, I've only been using Spreaker to upload our stuff and edit it and whatnot for a few days, but pardon me. Can you smell it?
It smells like kiwi apple
and
pizza. Vegetarian pizza.
Shush, yeah. I've only been using Spreaker for a few days, but what a wonderful app. What a wonderful service. I loves it so much. But yeah.
All right.
So we're downloadable now, folks.
So get on it, get listening, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And to start off today's episode with actual content, unless Macaui wants to hit that button roll bad.
We are the champions of the world.
All right, moving past it. You are
till the end.
Corrigible. All right. So
now
that we've gotten past that for the first
toys.
20 minutes of the podcast, we're going to get into the real beef of this episode. So to start today's episode, I just want to take a moment of silence for a good man we lost last month that I just found out about. His name was... shit, I really should have learned his real name.
Oh, shit.
He is known by E-Double, and he is a very prolific and unique rapper. Pretty underground. pretty indie, as the kids like to say. But he was one of my top jam makers in high school. And I just found out in February he passed away from some serious infections.
Damn.
He had to get some blood transfusions that apparently didn't take. And it's just really unfortunate because he was a real inspiration. He got me pumped up. He got me thinking. And overall, just an awesome guy. So I just want to take a moment of silence for him. And if you guys haven't heard of him, just search him on YouTube. All of his music's on there. What I listened to in high school was called his Freestyle Fridays, because every week on Friday he would drop a freestyle with a unique beat and some pretty stellar production. So here's a little moment of silence while he serenades us away.
Still looking for it.
Sorry.
That's really sad, though.
I mean, you heard me choking up.
Yeah.
It's like a close friend.
You know, you never realize, because I've given this some thought a few days ago. Like, you know, you see all these older actors or singers or actresses or whatever, or artists in general, that are like very important in people's lives growing up, and they're older people, right? You see, you know, you hear about their passing and whatnot, and you don't ever really think about it too much until it becomes someone that's directly like affected your life. And for people our age, most of us, that is, that's usually someone that is younger, someone that's, you know, we can relate to because of timing. And you never really think about like how that death affects you until it happens. I don't know. Death is weird, man. I don't know.
It's a little deep. So here's one of my favorites called On the Radio. And what the beauty of his songs, his Freestyle Fridays were, is he always gave these intros and outros telling us about like how his week was going and what was going on and the thought and reason into why he decided on his certain beats, on his lyrics, and all this kind of stuff. So here's one I like called On the Radio.
And we're going to keep this below 30 seconds as to not get copywritten.
Sounds good to me. Oh, of course, we have to go for an ad because
waveform disruption, okay.
Oh man, Freestyle Friday number 3. Thanks, Regina. I appreciate you letting me use the sample. Back when DJs still could play what they wanted, us little tykes didn't care how hard you started. All we wanted was to hear that fresh shit blast. Hit pause on the tape deck if it was trash. Mixtapes for tapes, not playlists, and we made them in real time, so makeshift. Wait for the station and grab my tapes. Got my trigger finger ready for the top 888. Now how the fuck is this little guy pants still really hot?
So there's a little E-double for you. He used some pretty unique beats throughout his Freestyle Friday career. A lot of the stuff he sampled, but then with his personal music, he definitely used his own production. And so just wanted to give a little shout out to him, give him some glory in the afterlife. And yeah, give him a listen, folks.
Rest in peace, man. That's rough, but death is, I guess it's inevitable, right?
Really is.
But doesn't mean you can't do something profound and impactful while you're here.
Very true.
Oh, man.
All right. On a lighter note, let's move on. My apologies. Getting a little teary here.
That's all good,
just so many happy memories of me and my friends jamming out in my truck and or their cars and just kind of rocking along.
That's good, man. People, I've noticed something, man. People get very, and it's not like a groundbreaking thing, like, oh, Macau. Like, no shit, Macau, you figured it out. But, like, people really get, weird about feeling emotion. I'm like, no, it's okay. You're human.
We're gonna talk about
feel shit.
We're gonna talk about another time on this podcast when we got teary this week. But for now, we're gonna move on to the highlight of the week. One of our 2 highlights of the week. Yeah. And that was the drop of the Nintendo Switch.
All right. So part of me is really excited for this, and the other part of me hates this thing.
Let's talk about the excited first, and then we'll move into the hate. Or do you want to go the other way?
Go the other way.
Okay. So let's hear.
The reason I hate this thing, there's 2 reasons. One, my brothers woke me up at 4 a.m. On Friday morning to go get this thing. As you may know, John, and as the rest of you probably don't know, I'm not a morning person.
Yet he stays up till almost morning every night.
Yeah, but that's different. It's the other way around. So we went to Target, stayed in line, got it. everything. And I was like, okay, cool. It's done. Whatever. I'm tired, but it's cool. We got it. And it's such a cool concept. I really wanted to like it 100%, but it's not 100% anymore. I only like it like 80%. What year is it, John?
It is 2017.
Not 2016.
Nope.
Not 2018.
No, sir.
I'm going to censor myself out of respect. 2017. Okay. What $300 console doesn't come ready to stream? You can't use YouTube. You can't use Netflix. You can't use Hulu. This is a mobile console. You telling me I can't use it to watch Hulu when I have a Wi-Fi network?
To be fair, the 3DS and the 2DS have those capabilities.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm getting there. there. So they have those capabilities, but their screens, I don't even think are 720.
Yeah, they're not.
So the quality's already garbage.
Yeah.
So it's like you're still getting this, but you're also kind of like, oh, I'm going to watch it as people did back in the early 2000s, which is bullpucky in my opinion.
I get that, man, but
and
this
the
is
fact
the
that
Switch.
it's a 720 screen. So is it 1080 and up is HD?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're getting standard definition.
No. 720 is technically a high def. It's not full high def.
Okay.
480 is standard.
Minimum high def.
Yeah.
As little as high def you can go would be on this portable screen.
No, but here's the thing, though. It is a portable screen, but it's also a home console. You plug it into the dock, and it connects to your TV. That's what I'm talking about.
So
I have other options, but I'm just pissed off that this is a $300 console.
well, it's like all of these companies are doing things similar to this because everyone's assuming that like you have all the other capabilities of there because capabilities of taking things in, taking media in. So you're getting like the PlayStation 4, which doesn't have the 4K Blu-ray capabilities because they thought it was a gimmick. Xboxes do play 4K. They also make just standalone 4K Blu-ray players.
Yeah.
So you're doing that, and like 9 times out of 10, a person's gonna own a smart TV.
You're right.
And so they have so many other options, and they just wanted to put as much work into the Switch towards gaming, and towards its standalone use. You know?
Okay. I see what you're saying. I really do. I'm just a little salty still.
Well, we're going to move past.
Yeah. What you said makes sense. I'm just salty. Yeah, I'll get over it eventually. I don't even use it. I watch Netflix on my computer or on my phone or Hulu or whatever, or YouTube. So I wouldn't even have used it if I had it. But I would like the option. But I'll get over it anyway.
All right. Well, on the lighter note of the Switch, it is so much fun.
It is.
I decided on a whim, that Thursday night I was going to go to all my coworkers are like, hey, the Switch comes out tonight. And my store, being the establishment that they are and renting from the person they do, there are no midnight releases. So we're like, hey, what's fun and interesting that you don't get to do very often? Let's go stand in line for a midnight release of a console. And I was like, I'm not doing anything tonight. I'm barely doing anything tomorrow. Let's do this. So I decided to get in the car with my crazy coworker, Evan, and drive all the way to a certain store, which I don't remember where we were. I was just kind of in the car, excited to be a part of it. We stood in line, and we got our tickets to get Switches. Me being who I am and the inability to handle money, I decided I didn't need one right away. Doesn't mean I've played it. It's so much fun, but I got to be a part of the experience. And I had a blast, and it was just very interesting seeing a midnight release of a console or a game or anything. I've never done that before. Yeah. There were so many people there ready to pick up their, the Neon edition, and then the even some people were just there for the Wii U edition of Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Because it did come out. I think that's the last game they're going to do for the Wii U.
Really?
Yeah. Because they stopped production on the Wii U, so why would they keep making Wii U games?
Oh, that's right. You're right.
So,
you're right.
Yeah, and it was just something a lot of fun to be a part of, and then even more fun when I was actually able to get with some friends and play it. Like, they got Zelda and 1-2 Switch, and 1-2 Switch is a ridiculous game. And the concept behind it is you don't have to be looking at the screen the entire time. You get to actually stare your opponent in the eyes.
That's pretty cool.
And then use the very cool Joy-Cons to actually do certain stuff. So, like, one was you take a certain position to do, like, a Zen meditation thing. Yeah. And the whole point is you're not supposed to move too much with the remote. Because if you move too much, you lose. And so it's like, who has the steadier hand?
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, and there was one that's like, the big one that they're putting out there is the like gunfighting.
Yeah.
And so I kicked butt. And there's a bunch of others. There's like 28 games, but I think it's only the first 5 that are like right on the disc right now, and then you have to like build up, and like the more you play the other ones, the more they get unlocked.
Okay.
Because there's like a cow milking one that's not immediately available, and all these kind of other ones. But it's so much fun, and the Zelda game is so pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been watching your brothers play it, but when I was watching, it was just like, and there's so many videos on it already on YouTube. Everyone's streaming it.
Dude, it's a beautifully made game.
Yes.
Like it's everything about it.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. That was my
It's huge.
lame ass Trump impression, but yeah, they already announced that it's currently 1.5 times bigger than Skyrim, which was said to be one of the biggest games. Plus, they also already have the option to get the expansion pass. So if you pay $20 extra, you're able to get any sort of expansion they put on this game, even though the main quest is ridiculous.
Really?
Like I got to a part where we were playing with it's like you have to collect these certain robots before you actually fight the big bad guy, and it's like it feels like a final boss.
Jeez.
Just the sub bosses feel like final bosses, so I can't imagine fighting the big guy.
Dude, that's actually really cool. Like I'm usually not a fan of like super open world games, but when they're done with like a really awesome theme, and it's not just this overplayed generic, oh, we're medieval times, oh, it's future, and you have fucking oops. You have like, you know, these Halo style suits or whatever, but when it's something with like a legit story and all that, it's always really cool. But I don't know where I was going with that.
It's all good. I just think he's hating on Skyrim,
Yeah,
which is cool because it's just it's so. I've never been a first person anything, so like I hate first person shooters. So all of the Call of Duties, all those kind of things. My kind of games are like Pokemon and Mario, and then like as far as like actiony games, went like God of War. There's this cool one called Darksiders where you're one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Dude,
one of my favorite games growing up on the PlayStation 2 was this one game called Dark Cloud.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's so cool. It's like a cross between actually Skyrim and Zelda. And it was like this kid who basically explores like these different caves and forests and stuff because there's like this evil force that essentially made his entire village and neighboring villages disappear.
Okay.
And it was a really cool story, and really cool gameplay considering it was the PS2. But yeah. I'm sorry, I'm so sick. Like, it's very obvious in my voice. But anyway, you were saying?
I just wanted to give a shout out to Nintendo for not disappointing us like they did with the Wii U. Not that it was an immediate disappointment with the Wii U, but it was no Wii. Like, it was pretty revolutionary considering you could like play while someone else was watching on the television, but you had to be in the same room as the Wii U, or the same household, I think.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that you're able to take this on the road, and I don't know if you people have watched all the previews for it, but you're able to like it comes with a little kickstand so you can play on the airplane with the Joy-Cons off the system, or you can play it with like it's just a handheld system like a PSP or a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Hold back a burp. But
much more classy.
I know,
than
right?
Me.
But yeah, it's stellar, and if you guys get a chance to play it, do it. You'll fall in love. I know I did, and I'm just gonna save up my monies.
That's pretty cool, man. You know what it is, dude? Although I am pissed about that streaming thing, Nintendo's probably my favorite like video game company, because one, they co-create my favorite line of games, the Pokemon games.
Oh, of course.
But also because, you know, I love the Mario games and all that, but they also created my favorite console, the Nintendo 64, and they continuously pioneer everything. If you've noticed that, like they had the best graphics back when the Nintendo 64 came out, and then Xbox and PlayStation caught up. So here's the thing with Nintendo is they pioneer the road, you know, they blaze the trail in like these new technologies and stuff, and then all the other companies do it better than them. Well,
yeah, it's like,
you know,
except like, okay, so when the Wii came out, the Wii controller was one of the coolest things because it actually captured your motion.
Yeah.
Whereas like 3 or 4 years later, PlayStation came out with theirs with the little like
light on thing.
Yeah, it's like a lightsaber with a ping pong ball on top that's colored, and so that's what you're using now with your PlayStation VR.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
That's one thing that PlayStation beat everyone to the market with. I mean, all the console wise, like obviously, computer VR has been a thing for a while, but it's just PlayStation made it more readily available in the home.
Yeah.
But
like Xbox is, I believe, coming out with the Oculus will be compatible with their new Scorpio, right? That's what
is
I
it?
heard. Yeah.
I haven't been listening too much about the Scorpio. I just hear it's a more powerful Xbox, which they've come out with 2 Xbox One variations already.
Yeah.
And so it's just like the next thing's just gonna be like the PlayStation Pro. It's just gonna be souped up.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, no,
Probably
like
$500 console though.
yeah, but like no, what I do appreciate about Nintendo is they always pioneer the road. They always create the dope shit that these other companies try to, catch up on, and they eventually do and beat them. But Nintendo's always the first one there, which is always really cool. Yeah. And they also make games that are meant to like bring people together, to have people play together instead of, you're
single
alone
player
in your dark room playing online with people you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, couch co-ops are a dying trend, but Nintendo's trying to keep them alive.
Yeah, like dude, I remember when I was growing up and I'd go to my friend's house or whatever, and we'd all play GameCube or whatever.
Yeah, GameCube with my friends was definitely.
Like, we sit on the floor and just play games together, and that was the social aspect. Like, we were friends playing video games on a screen, not I was a gamer playing with people that I don't know, not around. You know what I mean?
And calling them noobs and telling them you're getting with their mothers.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
So it was such a social, like it made escapism ironically social.
Real quick side note.
Yeah.
On the GameCube, did you ever play that Donkey Kong game that you had to play with the bongos?
No,
It was so much fun.
Really?
Yeah. It was the most ridiculous thing. But like as soon as that came out, I had to buy it, and it was just like I was sitting there playing bong. It was loud as hell, but it was like every time, and it was like a full Donkey Kong game. It's like you hit the right one to move forward, you hit the left one to move back, you hit both to jump.
What?
And you're not able to attack. You're just basically like kind of like
jump and run.
Yeah, jump and run basically, but it was still so much fun, and I just think it's hilarious that some of those controllers and like those games have such a ridiculous depreciation after you first buy them.
Dude, the moment you leave the house.
Except for Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but Pokemon, it's like I think it was a couple months back. I bought Pokemon Heart Gold for $50.
Jeez.
I think it was 40 when it came out.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
It's just everyone else though. Get your crap together and get games being resold. But it's just like if you're trying to keep up.
Pokemon's always classic, regardless of how new or old it is.
That's fair, but it's just like you pay so much to keep up. Like if you're wanting to buy games day of, it's a very expensive habit. But if you're able to be one of those people that's just like 1 or 2 years behind, it is a very affordable habit.
Yeah, that's what I used to. I don't game as much as I used to, but when I did, it was literally just I'd be playing 1 or 2 games for a few months, and then once I beat those games, I'd consider another game.
Yeah,
and it was always like something. I never understood. I don't like all these. Ever since the PS3 and PS4 came out, or the PS3 and Xbox 360 came out, most of these games have all just felt the same. I'm like, this is so boring. Halo feels the same as friggin' Call of Duty, Infinite, whatever. I'm just like, this is all the same.
See, and that's
bullshit.
Yeah, the first persons, everything else, they get creative, like Rayman, and that's another thing I'm excited about. And as far as video games, another side note, Crash Bandicoot getting revived.
Oh, that'll be.
That's cool. A huge reason for me to get a PS4, which I'm having a really strong internal struggle right now of getting the Slim or the Pro. Because it's like I have a 4K TV, but I don't really need to pay an extra $100 for a console if I'm already getting the Switch. Yeah. It's just this whole like, I want it, but I don't need it.
That's what most of this stuff is.
Story of my life. Yeah, I have so much crap in my room, people.
That's what our podcast is built on.
Yeah, and that's what's beautiful.
You don't need.
But yeah, we're
Lil Sip.
We're huge Nintendo nerds, so it's a huge week for us. Yeah. I said huge twice, and I feel bad, but it's just huge. Gigantic, ginormous, in the words of Buddy the Elf. But we're literally, as we record this, looking at my Nintendo poster on my wall. Yeah. With non-Breath of the Wild Link.
As I said, I don't game as much as I used to. But Nintendo is like what I imagine, that first girlfriend that you broke up with years ago, but you guys still get along and you each have a special place in your heart for each other. That's what Nintendo is to me. Like, regardless of my feelings on the Wii U and how shitty it was, and the
fact they made amazing games for a crap console.
Yeah, and the fact that in my own opinion, the Switch was poorly executed. Great idea, poorly executed. just initial like a release, I guess.
Yeah.
The release of the execution.
Plus the lack of games. I think that would be my one complaint. Is as soon as the console dropped, there's 4 physical games and I think 3 downloadable games.
Yeah. So
it's like
exactly like it's just a poor open release execution. But regardless of all that, it's just it has a special place in my heart.
It does. So what would PlayStation to you be the mean girl that grew up to be hot? And
oh hell yeah. No. Actually, Xbox would be.
Oh yeah.
I'm an Xbox boy.
Xbox was never my deal. I know my cousins had them, my friends had them, but that was the first console. I got a PS1. That was my first console ever, and my parents.
Yeah, we got a PS1 at a garage sale, and it was so cool, dude. It was the PS1 with the little screen on it.
Oh no, I didn't see those. We bought one of those so I could play because my parents like to drive more than they fly.
Yeah.
So they got me this little Wildcat when that was the accessory forerunner.
Oh shit.
You just screwed it onto the PlayStation, plugged it in, and you were able to play on the go, which was really cool. But
really cool.
I digress.
Burp. Dude, I'm just a mess today. Oof.
It's true. He's sick. He's tired, and
can you hear that?
Full of bubbly gas.
Yeah, no, I had a PlayStation. We had a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2. The PS1 we bought for dirt cheap at a garage sale, and it had all these fighting games and stuff.
Nice.
It was really cool. I think one of them was Tekken. I don't know. Anyway,
of course.
We bought a PS2, which was one of my favorite consoles ever. But then after that, meanwhile, I never had a GameCube, none of that. My only Nintendo home consoles were the Nintendo 64 and the Wii, and now the Switch. And my brother bought a Wii U. But yeah, PS1, PS2, and then I made the jump to Xbox 360, and that's when I realized the controller makes the difference to me personally. I love the Xbox controller. Mm-hmm. It is the only reason I continue to prefer Xbox over PlayStation. Yeah, that's just it. But
I completely skipped the PlayStation 2 phase.
Oh, really?
I went so as far as home consoles go, I got a PlayStation 1 pretty much right before the PS2 came out, just because I was like, hey, Mom and Dad, all my friends are playing video games. Me too. So we went to Sam's Club, and there was some like plastic pack that came with a PS1, the Aladdin game, and then Spyro, I think.
Oh man, yeah.
And so I played those forever, and then my dad got me a bunch of shooting army games, like World of Tanks and stuff like this.
Nice.
And then I was like, all right, I've been playing this for a while, and then I moved to portable consoles where I got my Game Boy Advance.
Oh hell yeah!
And then after Game Boy Advance came Game Boy Advance SP, and then after that came the GameCube.
Yeah.
So just completely skipped over PS2, and then I was like, all right, well, now streaming's a thing and all that jazz. So I went simultaneously PlayStation 3 and Wii.
Oh.
And that was a lot of fun.
It was. Very different things, but yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody can touch me in Wii bowling.
I was the golfing guy, so.
I hated the golf.
So much fun.
I just hate golfing. It's so boring, man. I don't understand you folks.
I'm glad I'm not doing that for my birthday then, because you wouldn't have been invited. Just kidding. There's this really cool place called Top Golf. I don't know if you people have ever heard of it.
Is it like
It's a huge driving range.
I would love to do that.
Alcohol and
that's pretty cool.
Bar food and cool stuff.
Cool.
I went there last year for my birthday, and it was a lot of fun. It's just crazy expensive on the weekends. It's like $45 an hour per person.
Jesus Christ.
But it's as much as you can golf. So, and it's cool because it has little microchips in the golf ball. So when you hit them, you actually see where you hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Pardon me.
God, I bought you an energy drink. You should be energized.
I'm sick, man. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so, on that side note, let's move on to our final and most exciting topic of the podcast.
Shit.
And that is Logan.
Shit. Hold on.
The final chapter.
Wait.
Oh, fine. We have to sit in radio silence while Macaulay gets his crap together. Dun,
all right, let's start again.
Dun.
And now to our final. Do you know what? Sorry, let's backtrack a little bit.
We're learning on the go.
I never actually had a Game Boy Advance. I only had the Game Boy Advance SP. Because what happened was there was this really cute girl that I went to elementary school with.
Yeah.
Had the biggest crush on her growing up.
We all did.
Yeah, of course.
That one girl, though.
So she was this. We were both in 3rd grade. 8th grade, we lived in the same neighborhood. She was this little Russian girl. We ended up going to the same high school and everything, but at that point we kind of diverged. But
as it goes.
Yeah. But I remember this day fondly because it was really, really fun. Like, not even just the fact that I had a huge crush on her, but it was like, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm trying to distract you while you tell this story.
It's working. I have ADHD, I think. ADD.
Do it.
But nope, not yet. It's not time. If you foil the goddamn illusion, I will end you, Shirk.
Sorry. I'm so excited to talk about this movie, but we have to take your damn sidetracks.
You better hold your horses, son.
I'm holding. Whoa, ponies. Swear to goodness, I'm gonna strap you to a chair and make you watch all the Police Academy shows so you actually can learn how to do mouth noises.
Who can beatbox and who can't in this duo, you son of a gun?
The black dude from Police Academy. I don't know his name. I can say boots and cats. Does everyone know that trick? Boots and cats, 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 boots and cats. Okay, digressing. Go back to your Russian girl story.
So I remember this day fondly because it was one of the funnest moments in my life. And one day, it was a weekend. I'd just finished my homework, and she came and knocked on my door because we used to walk to the bus stop together,
right?
As you do, like in any movie.
Of course.
I'm not gonna.
For those of us that rode the bus.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
What?
My mom drove me to school, so I never had the pleasure of the bus.
Oh, gotcha. It wasn't nothing special. You weren't missing out.
Okay. Good.
So yeah, we used to walk together. So she would always like yell out my window from downstairs, and I'd be like, all right, I'm on my way, because I was running late. So on the weekend, she would do the same just so we can go outside and play, And one day she had her brother's Game Boy Advance, and we were playing Pokemon Gold. And I was like, oh, this is Pokemon. I mean, I knew what Pokemon was from the cartoon since I was like 5. But this was like, oh, this is the Pokemon game. And we played there for hours on hours. And we played Pokemon Gold. And I was like, oh, man, I'm in love more with you and this game now. And so a few months later, I finally convinced my mom and dad to get me a Game Boy Advance SP. And best thing I've owned in my life. Because I bought
hours.
Pokemon Sapphire with it.
Yeah.
And oh baby, the homework did not get done that month. But yeah, oh man.
All right, back to no. Oh, come on. No. You're ruining my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bit that we've all been waiting for. This is
loud, I swear to God.
I'm not gonna go loud. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Android users and iOS users alike,
Phone's gonna die before you
the
do
best movie of 2017 thus far. No, what? Yeah, maybe one of the best movies of 2017 so far.
Logan.
No.
It failed.
No.
Because I turned that down, remember?
Oh, you asshole. You asshole.
It's not my fault. I was trying to...
One of the best movies of
Smooth
2017
transition.
thus far. Logan.
Oh, I hate it so much, but he seems to enjoy it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. Logan is here. Oh. And it made us feel
so much. You don't understand.
As you've all seen, it is a modern Western with Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman.
Of course.
In a world of dust and despair. You get the synopsis. It's a huge friggin' movie, people, and it blew us away. A perfect send-off to the most, I don't even know how to say this, like, perfect role
ever
or actor playing a role
it.
I've ever seen. Hugh Jackman is the Wolverine. And let me just say up front, we cried like little girls during this movie.
Okay.
Little children, I don't mean to discriminate.
Yeah, you sexist ass. I cried so much. Okay, so at the end of should we get into spoilers?
I mean, no.
No, because it's only been a few days. Huh?
Yeah, it's been like 3 days.
Oh, shit.
And the fact that we only have 10 minutes to talk about it,
yeah.
we probably can't give them a huge synopsis about this.
Man. I cried so much. You know a movie hits you in the emotions when you still cry when it's mentioned in a podcast the next morning. I shit you not, John Shirk.
Yeah.
I watched the movie and I had a few tears here and there throughout the movie.
Right.
And then straight up ugly crying at the end of the movie. Like
We all did.
Like, you know the type of crying. I'm like straight up streams of tears coming out of both eyes fast by the end of the movie.
Just sitting on your chin, waiting to drop onto your shirt.
Yeah, man.
It was gross, but it felt good.
Yeah. No, I straight up like tears here and there throughout the movie, and then straight up ugly crying at the end. But you know a movie's good and emotionally impactful when in the next morning you listen to a podcast talking about the movie, and a mere mention of what made you cry then makes you cry in the car on your way to school.
Get a little choked up.
Oh.
And it was just an amazing movie. It had its slow parts.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was the perfect superhero movie. As long as you're going for an actual story, not just, people with superpowers punching each other.
Yeah.
Because if you want an actual story, an adult story.
Yeah. Oof.
Like
it gets you.
It's not for children.
It's
we'll
not.
say that much. Not even just the violence and the cursing, but just the everything. Like the entire idea of this movie was just so depressing.
The emotional content is just the themes, the ideas that go behind like what happens like when shit goes bad in your life and then you feel like you're alone in the barren. If I get into it, I'm gonna cry again.
So we're just gonna give you a little bit of our opinion on it, and just on the movie as a whole and individual actors from the movie. So as far as the villain, how did you feel?
So the villain, what was his name again?
One of the
Reese,
Reavers.
something like that.
Reese.
I thought he was great. They didn't go too deep with like the villain.
Yeah.
Understandably so, because the movie more so explores the relationship between Logan and Laura, which
Laura.
X-23, which, and this isn't a spoiler. You should know this from the comics or the TV shows. Laura X-23 is essentially a clone of Wolverine, of Logan, of James Howlett. But not really just like a straight up clone. She's actually essentially his daughter, because what happened is they got a DNA sample of his. And
yes, I did. Illegally, I'm sure.
Illegally, yeah. And impregnated a Mexican woman with that child, and that child came to be Laura. And I'm really glad.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I'm really glad they casted a Latina girl to play this, because I'm like, yeah, that's really cool.
Plus the probably genetic experimentation laws are a lot more lax in Mexico.
Yeah. And so that was really cool, but so the villain, the villain was cool because it was the scientist, and then his muscle, which was the guy with the mechanical hand or whatever,
robo hand.
I forgot his name too, but they were cool and all, they were convincing, but they didn't have very much screen time, and I'm glad they didn't, because that wasn't the point of the movie.
We needed to delve into the life that Logan and Professor X and his whole troop were living in a time where there didn't seem to be very many mutants, if any at all.
Yeah.
In the year 2029.
Yeah, and it was more so like the relationship between essentially a dying Logan trying to cope with his history and what he's done, and also trying to take care of this father figure of his, Professor X, Charles Xavier, and trying to because he's kind of deteriorating mentally as well, and
that's bad for one of the most powerful telepaths in history.
I would say the most powerful telepath in history.
I mean, if we include X-Men: The Last Stand in the universe that Logan takes place in,
no.
Okay, if I do that, then we see the Phoenix as
that's true,
almost comparable.
Well, because
but she's
the
also
Phoenix
telekinetic.
Is like a god. That's
true,
a god that takes
just like an
over.
uninhibited mutant that's able to control your mind, like the government.
you know,
no, signs are there, people.
She's a celestial body, so you can't really compare her to a human mutant. Of the human mutants, I think, Charles Xavier is definitely the most powerful telepath.
Most def.
But oh god, this movie, it's so good.
And we can't recommend it enough.
Please see it.
I went and saw it. It was actually really cool. It's at this place called the Aurora Movie Tavern, and it's like Alamo Drafthouse where they have like food and drinks and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So I had like little like appetizer sampler type thing for food,
Nice.
which I realized food is hard to eat in a dark room while you're trying to focus on a very important movie.
While Wolverine is slicing people's heads off,
slicing and dicing like he's Bobby Flay. But
I'm Bobby Flay, and welcome to the That's not Bobby Flay. Never mind. Continue.
McCowie has a terrible Bobby Flay impression because he has no idea who he is. But
Bobby Flay is.
He's the Iron Chef.
Yeah. And he was also in that Disney Channel movie with.
Oh yeah.
Eddie.
Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. I love that movie.
Because
he had like the Fruit Loop chicken. I was always like, maybe it'll work. No, but yeah, it's just. It's a weird experience when you're trying to have a full meal while watching a movie that you're trying to focus on. Because I eat food in my room all the time while movies are playing in the background, which is fine. But if I'm like focused and I'm like, holy cow, like actually feeling things and actually like being enveloped by this movie, it's very hard to eat chicken wings. So,
that's even more of that's more work.
Plus the fact that you're just in this confined space. It was really comfy chairs, like they were recliners.
Oh,
but it was like
really.
Yeah, every time I was like, all right, my hands are all sticky and hot now. What do I do with them? And so, just didn't get nearly enough napkins, and that's a complaint on the theater, not the movie. But I digress again. Just an amazing experience as a movie. And Macau even got more with his IMAX.
Oh,
I just went and saw it in regular, but IMAX is such a great way to watch movies. Any movie that I have any sort of anticipation for that comes out in IMAX, I see. Unless it's inconvenient and I'm trying to explore theater options, which, it was fun. And don't get me wrong, but I just, from now on, I'm sticking to IMAX as far as these kind of movies go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And may I add, so I'm really happy because going back to what I said earlier about how happy I'm, like, they casted a Latina girl, that.
Oh, yes.
That was really cool.
What'd you say her name was? Daphne
Blake? Keane, I think.
Okay. I'm thinking Scooby-Doo, so it's fine. Daphne Keane.
I don't know if she's Spanish, like from Spain, or Mexican, but she's a Latina girl, and
I heard Spanish.
But what's it called?
No,
I'm pretty sure she's Mexican.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain, but I don't know. Actually, I might be wrong. Anyway,
sorry, I have an opinion that I want to give, but
what? Go for it.
Nah, I feel like you're gonna get there.
Okay.
Did you lose it, or am I just?
No, I mean.
Okay.
What do you want to?
I just want to say,
let's talk
an actress that was mute for a good majority of her role in the movie.
Yeah.
She just displayed a lot of emotion and very intense acting.
Hell yeah. Like as John said, she was literally she wasn't talking for a large sum of the movie, or a large portion of the movie, and she was literally for most of the movie acting just through her eyes and her,
rage.
Physical like rage, just like fighting basically. Like she I think she's actually a martial artist.
Oh really?
That girl, yeah.
That makes sense then. This would be a good casting choice.
I'm telling, they freaking nailed that. Oh my god, they hit the nail right on the head. Okay, because like not only did they cast a Latina girl to play a Latina character, they casted a Latina girl who knows how to really act so well, even if she doesn't have dialogue. And she's a martial artist. Trust me, Logan is so dope in this movie, but she definitely has the most kick-ass moments.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, the aging Logan does not have his physical prowess that he did in the first X-Men trilogy.
Yeah.
Or in Origins or whatever. Yeah. But she definitely just... She kicks ass.
Oh, man. It's so badass, dude. But yeah, she was really cool. We're running close to an hour already.
Can't talk enough about Daphne Keane. Yeah, I really hope that's her real name.
No, that is her name.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just want to, because I hate doing that. I'm like, oh yeah, I love this thing that is completely wrong, but I have an opinion about it for some reason.
You know that Iron Chef, Robert Flamignon?
Yeah, Robert Flamignon. He beat Iron Chef Mori Hama. But
dude, oh man, she really killed that performance. Sir Patrick Stewart, of course, every freaking time.
It's just so sad seeing people like that age.
It
Like,
really
I know
is.
I
I'm
think he's
worried,
actually
man.
coming on 90.
Yeah,
Is he 90 in real life or 90 in the movie? Because I think he
He's-
was playing 90 in the movie, but
I think he's over 90 in the movie. Like
Okay.
a few years over 90.
got it. But yeah, just he does such ridiculous things. Like I saw an interview the other day. He's going to play the poop emoji in the emoji movie. Like, how can a actor have so much range of being this like dramatic thespian to being the poop emoji?
I don't know.
I just
man.
don't understand. But
I love that man.
I might have to see it just for that reason.
Just for Sir Patrick Stewart. Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I love this movie. I think this is by far my favorite superhero movie.
Favorite X-Men movie for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
for me, it's in as a whole because objectively, yeah, there are other superhero movies that are better, as we were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
Like Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War.
Which are both Captain America movies, which is
Yeah.
weird that they're putting. I mean, Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie, good.
Yeah.
Second, third,
Meh. Yeah, but Captain Winter Soldier and Civil War were both objectively, in my opinion, perfect superhero movies.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was a superhero movie till Logan that made me feel as not just feel as in like, whoa, that was so badass, it's so cool, and the superheroes kicking each other's asses, but like legitimately feel emotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On that alone, this was my favorite superhero movie. I'm sorry, I totally hijacked this conversation about Logan, dude. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. McCowie cried a little more than I did,
Yeah.
but that's why he was able to talk more about it. We both had a stellar time watching it, and we recommend it to every person we see on the street, literally yelling it out my window as I drive.
Yeah.
Go see Logan.
John,
Do it. What's up?
I want you to talk a little bit more about Logan. I feel so bad.
No, I put in my 2 cents. Laura was probably my favorite character, even though Caliban,
Yeah.
played by
Stephen Merchant.
Stephen Merchant, who's a tall, awkward British fellow that I just love. The casting was amazing.
Hell yeah. The locations.
Oh my gosh, right?
Ooh.
The desert and the what was it? It was a water tower that Sir Patrick Stewart was being kept in. I mean, Charles Xavier. But you know what I mean. It was just all around an amazing movie. The fighting choreography.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. They can both fight like no other.
Dude, that opening scene
Yeah.
with Wolverine and those guys trying to steal the lug nuts.
Cholos, man. Tell you what.
Oh, man. That was so badass.
But yeah, I can't express enough what I felt during this movie. Emotion.
You can express more. It's just we're running more, and that's why you're stopping yourself. And now I'm feeling bad.
No, it's fine.
And I want you to go over the hour to talk about it.
I took 2 of the topics today. I don't feel terrible about that at all.
Okay.
Because you took Logan, and I knew I don't want to say way more into it, but I think you enjoyed it more than I did, even though I enjoyed it a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Oh, God, it's so good.
But
Yeah.
to wrap it up, people.
Oh, one more thing. I'm so sorry. You
I
know-
guess, screw me.
No. no, this is real quick. So so in the movie, Laura, she has, she obviously has 2 claws out of her fists, and then 1 claw on each of her feet. And then remember how this isn't really a spoiler, but it's just a really cool fact I didn't know. Professor X was talking about why that is, and apparently like there's like a genetic reason. So for example, if you take 2 lions, a male and a female, the male is like the king of the pride and all that stuff, but he spends most of his time napping, right?
Right.
The female, she hunts, she takes care of the cubs and all that. So the male, the reason he would fight in the wild with his front paws, that's what he would do, right?
Mm-hmm.
The female uses her front paws to hunt and her hind paws to defend, right? If something's attacking her or her cubs. And so her hind legs are stronger, I think, and also more deadly in terms of scratchability.
I'd concur with that. Scarlet, my cat, has scratched me more times with her back feet than her front.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. No. So it's really cool. So that was how Professor X explained how Laura had 2 claws on her fists and 1 claw on her feet, and you'll see, the way she uses it's really cool. But yeah, it's like kind of the female genetic variation of Wolverine's genetics, and the fact that it manifests into that just was really cool scientifically. I thought that was so dope.
They really think these things through when they put them in movies, and that makes dorks like us really appreciate it more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I went overboard, dude. I feel you don't know how bad I feel about this.
Feel no bad unless the people hated it. Then you should feel terrible. But
No,
with that, I have to be the voice of reason
no.
and kick you off your mic.
I just feel bad sometimes when I hijack conversations.
Right? See, that's the opposite. I just go in guns blazing and never have any regrets. So it's whatever, man.
All right.
So to actually wrap it up, unless Macaulay has another
hold on.
tidbit. I'm just kidding. We thank you very much. Please rate and subscribe because we can say that now.
Hell yeah.
How good does that feel?
So good.
You can find us on
iTunes,
YouTube,
a Spreaker,
Google Play,
and in real life if you just find us and talk to us.
Yeah.
Hell
We're
yeah.
more than happy to meet with you people and talk.
Hell yeah, all 7 of you. Let's have a get together at John's place.
Heck yeah. And if you have any need to email us,
possiblydope@gmail.com.
if you want to see our Facebook page,
at possiblydope, or search We're Not Cool, a period. Or John, where can they reach us on Twitter?
at Possibly Dope.
Yep.
It is the moniker for the We're Not Cool podcast.
Yeah, and now since there are more ways than one to follow us, not just on YouTube, for those that somehow found us or decide to follow us from now on these other platforms, if they want to find us on YouTube, what do they search?
We're Not Cool podcast.
Hell yeah. All right.
So thank you so much for putting in that extra
Please subscribe.
little more than an hour. And yeah, rate and comment because, again, I love constructive criticism.
Give us 5
Macaulay's a
stars.
little delicate, but I'm a much more resilient fella.
I'm a liberal snowflake.
All right.
Thanks,
everybody.
I dare you.
All right. Hasta luego.
Bye-bye.